Hey guys, Lance from CinematicGalaxy here. Sorry I haven't made a review in a while. I have seen some new movies, or movies that came out last year recently that I hadn't reviewed, but I still plan on reviewing them. I'm still kind of planning them out. But anyway, I've gotten some new picks recently, some Blu-Rays and DVDs, and I just wanted to share them with you. I've never done an update like this, so I thought now is a good time to start. These are all picks I've done over the past few months. First I'm going to start with is BenHur, the 50th anniversary edition. I have wanted to see this movie again for quite some time, but I hadn't planned on buying it because it's what, like $60-something. But I got it I saw it on Amazon. It was on there for a day for like $28.99. I jumped at that deal. I try not to do impulse buys as much, but I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna buy this film for that price. And this is an awesome set. I mean, it just has so many great things about it. Like, you see some of the bonus features it comes with there. It has a diary from Charlton Heston and a big kind of picture book that chronicles the story of BenHur. And it's a really great set, really cool looking box art. It's really just a movie where you just really feel that journey, you know, and it's really epic in like the biggest sense of epic, along with films like Lord of the Rings and stuff. Yeah, and if you haven't seen BenHur, definitely check it out. Next up we have two films, or technically one film as I consider it, and that's Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2. I consider them Part 1 and Part 2 of one big film. And it's just such a great finale to the series. I already own all the other films on DVD, and I'd actually planned on picking up the Ultimate Editions of these two films, which I think are coming out later this year. I might still get them, but you know, I just want to go ahead and own these films and just be able to watch them again. Deathly Hallows is my favorite Harry Potter in the series, both individually and as one big film. You know, Prisoner of Azkaban's second, but the last two films, Deathly Hallows, yeah, they're definitely my favorite. I feel like overall the spirit of the book was captured very well. And actually, you know, with Part 1, I thought this movie was fantastic, even on its own. A lot of people thought it was boring and kind of dull and it dragged and stuff, but I was so happy with this film. And I just love the performances in it so much. And Part 2, just the finale, and it just, so much stuff in it just has, you know, such dramatic weight, and it ends on such a great note. And yeah, the Harry Potter phenomenon, you know, the books and the movies have just been such a big part of my life. So yeah. Next up we have an animated Disney classic and one of my favorite Disney films, one of my favorite films of all time probably, and that movie is Dumbo. And this movie is just so great, you know, it's very short, but it packs so much into like barely an hour. I mean, you know, it's a great film, tells a great story, and honestly kind of an underdog story like Rocky and stuff like that. You know, it's very well done. The animation is cartoony, but it's very nice. And this film has some excellent bonus features, like the making of Dumbo and just all kinds of different bonus features on it. And Disney always does a great job with the bonus features of these films. What I really like about this movie as well is that the main character, Dumbo, he doesn't talk. He never talks in this film. And kind of like WALL-E with Pixar film and stuff, I just think that's always so interesting when a character doesn't talk, but they manage to make you care for that character so much just by their expressions and stuff, and it's great. Next up we have another classic Disney film, and that is Cinderella. And now the Platinum Edition. Now, I'm aware that the Diamond Edition Blu-ray is coming out later this year, but I just figured, you know, I got this for $13.99, and I figured that was a good price. You know, it's been a lot higher than that in the past since this isn't being sold in stores anymore. I got it off Amazon. No, I got it off eBay. But yeah, this is a great film, classic Disney movie. It's not one of my favorite Disney films, but it's not one of my least favorite either. Like, I definitely love seeing it, and it definitely just puts me in that classic Disney mood, you know. It's a perfect example of what classic Disney means. The animation is breathtakingly gorgeous in this film. I mean, the whole look of it is just so stylistically great, and just great drawings. Everything. The music in this film is also fantastic. The songs, you know, yeah, Cinderella is a Disney classic for sure. Next up, we have a movie that, considering Deathly Hallows Part 2 is just being his own film without Part 1, This movie is actually my favorite movie of 2011. I just completely loved it. A lot of people, it got good reviews and even a Best Picture nomination, but a lot of people are kind of mixed on it a little bit. But that film is War Horse, directed by Steven Spielberg. And yeah, I really dug this film a lot. I thought it was such a great big journey, and I thought the characters were just, you instantly latched onto them and cared for them. And John Williams' music, I mean, this movie is just such a great theatrical experience. The movie magic was just so well done, I just felt all the situations, all the things that were happening. It was so magical. Just reminded me of the classic Spielberg magic, like with Jurassic Park and E.T. and films like that. And also, a lot of people, some people criticize it for this, but this really does kind of feel like a Disney film. I just mentioned Dumbo, where the main character doesn't talk, and it's very much like that with War Horse. But I mean, I love classic Disney, and again, I love this character, I love this journey, and that horse was great in the film. He deserved an Oscar for sure. But anyway, yeah, War Horse, my favorite film of 2011. I've even seen The Descendants and Midnight in Paris and films like that, and it's still my favorite movie of 2011. So yeah, I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. This is a great set, great bonus features. Great film. Next up, we have one of my favorite films of 2011 that I probably love even more now than I did when I first saw it, and that is The Muppets. This film is just, it's so great. It really reminds you of simpler times, and at the same time, it reminds you of today's world. I just love the way nostalgia is dealt with in this film. I actually didn't grow up with like all the Muppet movies as a kid. I did grow up with the Muppet Babies TV show, and I grew up with Sesame Street, and I was always aware of the Muppets. I saw commercials for like Muppets Treasure Island and Christmas Carol and stuff, but I never really watched them all. But I did see some things with these characters, but I was always aware of who they are. I always knew the names and stuff, and I still feel like I grew up with them in a way because they were always there in my life. And I've actually recently seen the first Muppet movie for the first time, and I saw the Great Muppet Caper, and I actually have the Muppets Take Manhattan. I really enjoy that film. My favorite out of them is probably the original Muppet film. I also love the Great Muppet Caper, but I honestly think that this movie fits right alongside those. I mean, it feels like a classic Muppet movie made in 2011. And that's one of the highest compliments I can give it. And upon watching those films, I honestly like this one more because I see where some of the references come from now, and I see where certain characters, the reason they do certain things, I understand it better. But yeah, this is a very funny, very uplifting film. Great characters again. I'm just always so amazed with the way that they make these characters so lifelike and just feel like real people. And as far as my favorite Muppets, I always feel like I need to talk about this, but I love Kermit, Fozzie, Gonzo, and Ralph. For some reason, I really like Ralph right there. And I also like the new Muppet Walter, and I'm actually a Miss Piggy fan too. I just really like all these characters so much. Alright, we're down to my final two movies here. Anyway, one of them is a Martin Scorsese film that has gotten so much praise over the years, and it also, I mean, I haven't actually seen it, but I've heard so many great things about it. I got it for $4.98 on Amazon, and that is the Departed DVD. And it has some of my favorite actors in it, like Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, and also Mark Wahlberg's in it too. And it's just, I've heard great things about it. I have yet to watch it, but I love all these actors, and Martin Scorsese is a great director, so I'm looking forward to it. And now the last movie in this update is an animated film. It came out in 1998, and it's a film that, even though it was a hit back then, it's sort of been forgotten about. I mean, even I forgot about it because I didn't have my VHS anymore, and I hadn't watched it in so long, but it was really a great movie. That film is The Prince of Egypt. It's just such a powerful film. I mean, this movie came out about 4 years after the Lion King, and just, right around that time where Disney was just on such a roll with all their films. They had movies like The Little Mermaid, then Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King, Pocahontas, Hunchback of Notre Dame, all that stuff. And this movie just came out when Disney was just on such a, the Disney Renaissance and all that. And I honestly think this movie is of the caliber of all those movies that I previously mentioned. It basically goes over the story of Moses, in the Bible and stuff, his quest of freeing the Israelite people, the Hebrew people, from the Pharaoh and Egypt's oppressive rule. And, you know, whether you're religious or not, I mean, this is a great film either way. And it might not be completely biblically accurate, you know, and whatnot, but, I mean, you know, it kind of does some things with the story, takes some liberties here and there, but they all work, you know, that's the thing. It really works the way they tell the story. The story definitely has a powerful emotional core, and even as a kid, when I used to watch this, I first saw it when I was 5 years old, that's when it came out, and I was just so affected by it even back then, and so awestruck by some of the things that you see in this film. I mean, there's so much iconic imagery, like the burning bush and the parting of the sea, the plagues, and just so many iconic stuff that you see, and it's so well done. The voice acting, the animation's great. The voice acting is also fantastic. You got Val Kilmer, Ray Fiennes, just as Moses and Ramses, and they're brilliant. Now, this movie does have, watching this movie again, I hadn't seen it in so long. You know, I love the songs in this film. They're just fantastic. There is one song, though, and that's Playing with the Big Boys Now, that I kind of think was unnecessary. I kind of wish that it hadn't been in the film, because it makes it feel a little bit too Disney cartoonish, kind of. Just for this type of film, you know what I mean? It deals with such serious subject matter. I wish that they had left that out. But still a good song, just not really needed. But all the other songs are fantastic, just so great. And this movie is, again, it's just so spellbinding. Hans Zimmer does a score, and he's one of my favorite composers of all time. He did the Lion King score. He's done Inception, and, you know, just all these great soundtracks. I mean, incredible. I mean, this movie, again, The Prince of Egypt, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It is awesome. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much my Blu-ray DVD update. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm kind of a little bit iffy at this because it's my first one. But anyway, stay tuned for my next few reviews and what I have coming. Anyways, I hope you all have a great day, and this is Lance from CinematicGalaxy, signing off.